Just 18 days out, and both nominees are back on the trail. After an interesting post-debate reunion last night, there was a handshake this time, unlike at the debate. Details on that in a moment. But first, they're pushing the battlegrounds. Trump held rallies earlier in North Carolina and Pennsylvania and didn't let up on his opponent with just 2.5 weeks to go.
Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt politician ever to seek the office of the presidency. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. November 8th, let's win. You're going to look back at this election and say this is by far the most important vote you've ever cast for anyone at any time.
Hillary's in Ohio. She's at an early voting event right now in Cleveland. You're looking at that live. Now let's talk about one thing I just heard in the previous hour from John Roberts, our reporter who's on the Trump campaign trail. Eric, apparently tomorrow morning, Donald Trump is going to give a big speech in which he is going to unveil a new contract with America sort of thing. What do you think of that?
I think it's a great idea, and, you know, where's it been? I get it, but there's still 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks left. You can still time to turn the big ship around. And he said something today in North Carolina I thought was very interesting. He said, when I become president, we're going to create an America's desk. America's desk meaning he would call them every day to find out what's going on in the job market, where we need help, where are we lagging, where are we winning.
Like the LA Times tracking poll.
But I got to tell you, what a great idea that was. Like, why hasn't anyone else thought of that? And that's where he really should be, trying innovative new ideas that you would do if you were a businessman running the country, because that's what got him here. Now you got 18 days left, or 18 days and a couple hours left. Go get it now. Go do that stuff.
One of the things, Kimberly, I looked at before we came to air was where the campaigns are going to be this weekend. And it looks to me like it's pretty traditional. You've got Donald Trump and Pence in Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. You have in Ohio. And then the Clintons are going to be in Florida, Ohio. Barack Obama will be in Nevada. So to me, it doesn't look like there's a big push to expand the map, at least on the Clinton side. They're not doing a big push in Georgia or Arizona. So they must still be worried enough about those other states that they want to try to bring it home there.
Well, I think it makes sense, right, to shore it up. I mean, what they have to go on is obviously the national polls that we've all been talking about, but also their own internal tracking polls. So perhaps that's a little bit of a window for them, you know, for the individual campaigns to say, hey, this is where our time is best spent. So it's about, you know, assessing where that they can put their assets, where they're going to get maximum velocity and movement from that kind of devotion of resources. So, and these are important states, and specifically for Hillary, they've got to focus, lock that up, and before they try and stretch.
Greg, it's been a long campaign, obviously, a year and a half. We've got 18 days left, which feels like a long time. Everybody's a little bit tired, not just the candidates, but maybe the voters. How do they keep energy and interest?
Well, first of all, 3 weeks is a long time. I did some research. It's 21 days.
Okay.
A Chinese firm once built a 57-story skyscraper in 15 days.
Is it still standing?
Yes, it is. It's beautiful. It's prefab. So Trump can definitely catch up. He can still do some things. I'm always interested in this really big push by Hillary and Donald Trump for early voting. Like, get out and vote now. And it's because they fear that early voters might die before November.
Well, and I mean, actually, there's just a report just now, Juan, that came in right before air. Like, I was really paying attention in the last 5 minutes. That Republicans are up 1.8% over Democrats in early voting in Florida. What do you make of that?
That's fine, but I mean, what you also see in early voting is that I think it's already 3 million people have already voted, and Democrats are up in terms of turnout, which is what you look at. So they're up in turnout in places like Arizona, Utah, Nevada. You think, what is going on? But that's good news for Democrats as compared to 2012 is what I'm talking about. The second thing I noticed today was that Trump's political director left. So I'm not understanding why.
Well, he said he was stepping away a little bit.
Yeah, 19 days before the election.
But I don't know. I think we should stay tuned because maybe there's more to come on that.
for personal reasons, he said.
Tell me, what do you think?
I'm not going to say.
Wow.
Break it, Perino.
No, I heard gossip,
Dana.
and I'm not going to spread it.
Is that embargo till 6 p.m.
But just stay
Eastern?
tuned. No.
If we say please?
Brett Vero have
I'll
it.
tell you in the commercial break.
That's not fair.
Because it's not fair to this person if it's not true.
It's not fair. Well, I'll tell you what's not fair. It's not fair to Donald Trump. I mean, you're taking away. This was a Paul Manafort guy that came in and was trying to organize and put some people in the game on the ground, and it just doesn't seem to have happened, and that's a really telling
You don't want to
factor.
talk about the polls of the numbers that Dana just cited in
No,
Florida?
in Florida. But,
want to talk about
but the fact
polls that
is,
came out that
I
said
will.
Trump
Let's look
winning?
at. Okay, here are the polls.
Bowling, do you have a whiteboard by chance?
That right now you have.
IBD, the most accurate poll in the 2012 election cycle, now has Trump up by 1 or 2 points. Did
Where?
you see that?
Where's
IBD.
Anyway,
I had that once.
Anyway.
Antibiotics. Anybody take the IBD
Anyway.
right now?
IBS.
you know, back to reality.
You still have it.
At the moment, she's up. What we see here is she's up in 5 of the 12 battlegrounds, 6 of the 12 battlegrounds, 11 battlegrounds, I should say: Colorado, Michigan, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Wisconsin. It's to the point where, if you look at the electoral map, which is where the decision really gets made, she doesn't even need right now to win Ohio or Iowa.
Margin of error.
Yeah, right.
Well,
there you go.
maybe we
Let's
could
do
lighten
math
it up
on
a
that
little
again.
bit.
I'd love to. I think you owe me dinner, by the way.
I think we want to talk about last night's speech. This was the Al Smith dinner. Didn't go well, really, for anybody. Take a look.
This is entertaining, though.
Great to be here with 1,000 wonderful people, or as Hillary calls it, her largest crowd of the season.
After listening to your speech, I will also enjoy listening to Mike Pence deny that you ever gave it.
We can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me."
People look at the Statue of Liberty and they see a proud symbol. Donald looks at the Statue of Liberty and sees a 4. Maybe a 5 if she loses the torch and tablet and changes her hair.
Hillary isn't laughing as much as the rest of us. All of the jokes were given to her in advance of the dinner by Donna Brazil.
Look at this dais. We got Charlie Rose and Maria Bartiromo and Chris Matthews and Gayle King and Norah O'Donnell and Katie Couric. This counts as a press conference, right?
So, Greg, you were watching last night, and you are a good critique of these type of things. What did you make of it?
It started out fine, and then it went bad faster than a deviled egg in sunlight. There was something that happened. It kind of got tense. It was like a wedding toast where the groom's dad, who might have had too much to drink, starts talking about how the bride's not as hot as he would like. It got weird. There was something interesting there when Donald basically looked around and said, "You guys used to like me, now you don't." That was good because it also shows that almost all of his friendships are transactional, and once they don't need him anymore, they don't need him. But it was when his jokes started losing their punch towards the end, and it started getting a bit weird. And you could see the facial expressions behind him. It would look like they were watching a German art film. But the real winner was Maria Bartiromo's white gloves.
The gloves
were insane.
Stop.
In every picture, you saw her gloves.
You might not have seen it, but 5Fan Photoshop has just done a new photo of all of us at this table wearing white gloves today. So
I like
I was thinking about that.
Where is
You don't
it?
wear
So
white
I
gloves
didn't get-
after
Is that
Labor
a
Day.
call for?
No, not actually.
Well, I thought she looked glamorous,
She
like
did.
she was going to Monaco.
Movie star.
So I didn't,
Fabulous.
Eric, we were
Thanks,
talking about
Ella.
this earlier. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was doing that online book signing thing. But then I saw the Twitter traffic about it, so I read the speeches this morning. And I have to say, reading them, they were pretty good. They weren't that bad, but maybe it was in the delivery that it made people feel uncomfortable.
Totally in the delivery, and also the reaction from the room. When Donald got some boos towards the end, there's some things that he said that they didn't like, and they started to boo. It changed his delivery too. He got a little nervous about it, so he started to press a little bit. But also, Hillary had some lines that got not necessarily boos, but groans, and it changed her delivery as well. And I agree with Greg. The first part of each of their deliveries were fantastic. Donald's best line
was about his wife.
About his wife,
Right.
about the speech, and it was self-deprecating.
Obama.
They should have just done that from top to bottom and walked away.
It's
but
not easy.
Maybe it's because these two people have massive egos, and it's hard for them to say
Be
something.
self-deprecating.
Yes.
It's not easy to give a humorous speech
Is
either.
it
That's a
wrong
high
that
bar.
I enjoyed this?
No, you can definitely be a dissenting voice.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't know. I mean, I read it after, I watched it during, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I was bored or something.
I
was
watching the great Eric Boeing, who was hosting at 11. Yep. And I thought to myself, oh, let me see how this goes. And I couldn't. I mean, this is horrible. I've never seen an Al Smith dinner like this, where they're booing the guy. They were booing the guy. Let's not get away from it. It's unbelievable. He thought, let me just say, he thought this was his audience. He's in his home city. He knows all the players.
I don't think he thought that.
I think he must have thought that because he thought he could get away with this, Dana. And when he starts with the stuff about you got fired from the Watergate Commission,
no, I think what it was
mocking Catholic, it went over like a lead balloon.
I think they misread their audience and they wrote a speech that would have gone over very well at one of his rallies.
Yeah, but this wasn't a rally.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That might have been the mistake, but that
it was a
at
huge
a rally,
mistake because he got
it got huge numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I thought he got a lot of laughs too.
She pivoted about halfway through the speech and started talking about she took a shot. I was like shocked. Like, how could you be that disrespectful to the guy standing right there? It wasn't tongue-in-cheek. It was like, oh, I finally can hear from a real billionaire.
That was a great joke.
I thought that worked.
On paper, it was a great joke, but the way it was delivered, it just felt so nasty.
Yeah, those are not easy to give.
Sitting right there. I mean,
but they did share a laugh with Cardinal Dolan, and they did shake hands. That was nice.
He's told her that he's going to put her in jail, and you think that her making fun of his money is worse?
Listen, I didn't think either one should have gone there last night.
Yeah.
There was no grace. Let me say, there was an opportunity for him, especially after the big debate fiasco, but he didn't do it.
Juan, the only grace was before dinner.
Check it out.
And everybody left cross.